Ladies and gentlemen, we wish to state the following as to why we are of the opinion to oppose BBI and going for referendum. The country currently is in financial crisis. BBI is going to have a negative impact to us as Kenyan, economically, politically, and socially. We therefore believe that instead of dancing reggae and going for referendum, the country should look at the following. 1, economic recovery post-COVID-19. Pandemic is not yet over in Kenya. Kenyans are suffering and many people have lost their jobs. That one, everybody knows about it. I think what we need to do as a country is to suspend all mega projects and handle the lives of our people who are suffering greatly. We need to strengthen the health care sector and take care of our people so that they live in a favorable condition health-wise, and we create conducive, favorable trade incentives instead of dancing reggae. Our leaders have told us that nobody can stop reggae. We are here to tell you, if nobody can stop reggae, God can stop reggae. So we are not worried about anything. The other thing that has made us to think that we should stop this BBI and the referendum is this issue of corruption has not been addressed in that document conclusively. We need to make corruption very painful, which the document has not addressed that. This would mean that corrupt fellows will not fear anything. They will do things knowing that, after all, it is not as painful as we think it should be. Instead, the BBI document has failed to tackle this, and it has crippled the judiciary to the extent it cannot even deal with cases expeditiously, both national and on county level. This is a thorn in the flesh of Kenyans who toil day and night to make sure that taxes are paid. The same document, BBI, has failed miserably and is giving us an expansive government. Therefore, this document is a political document. Why do I say so? When you look at our politicians, they have an interest in this document. That's why all of them are dancing reggae to this document. There are only two politicians that we were identified, Professor Kibuga Kibwana and Mother Karua, Honorable. Those are the only two political leaders who have come up in the broad daylight and condemned this document. Because why I say that this is a political document? Because it cries for expanded executive, expanded members of National Assembly, and expanded Senate. The question I'm posing to Kenyans is that, where are we going to get money to pay these people? When we look at the target for KRA target, we find that the KRA targets to collect 1.7 trillion in a year. Our recurrent expenditure is 2.3 trillion. Government budget is 2.7 trillion. For us to be able to run this government, we are therefore forced to borrow money now and then to finance recurrent expenditure, which should not be so. Instead of now looking at these things and how best to run the economy, we are running up and down talking about reggae, which will not put food on the table of the common mwananchi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very unfortunate. Kenya is operating on a debt that is approximately above 7 trillion. Instead of us thinking how best to overcome all these problems, we are coming with a document that is going to get money out of the budget, meaning we are going to suffer a lot because we are supposed to finance all this. This does not mean that this money was set aside for anybody or it was not budgeted for. It is money that we shall pay today and in future. Our children, our grandchildren will ask us, when all these things were happening, where were you? That is the questions we shall be asked when all this was taking place. Were you listening? Were you in this country? And what did you say about it? That is why we are standing here today to condemn this act, because our people who are called leaders do not care about the common mwananchi, do not care about Wanjiku, do not care about the Githeri Mama, but they care about their positions and what they are going to gain through this BBI and amendment of the Constitution. This document has talked about gender. The only possible means to make this a reality is through education, not through political position. When you give education to ladies, you will have empowered them and they will compete in the market favorably. So it is not an issue of saying that gender, this is what we are going to do. No, it is a lie to our people. The government should look for ways and means of empowering our women, ladies, so that they can compete in the market effectively. BBI must reduce the representation that they have given the people. This will save the common mwananchi from over taxation that we are already having, which has had a negative impact on the economy of Kenya and generally on the citizens of Kenya. Auditor General's office to be expanded to give real-time reporting. Judiciary to be modernized, expanded to deal with cases within stipulated period. This will bring services closer to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very sorry that the BBI document has not seriously addressed this issue. We need to scrap unnecessary allocation of funds and give more funds to the county government. All this should be directed to county governments for ease accountability through Auditor General, which has not been addressed conclusively in the document. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know very well Most of our leaders all over the world, name them, they did not get those positions because of academic achievements. So we appeal that this document should put into consideration the issue of diploma and a university qualification for those who want to contest for political seats. When that is done, it will mean that Mwananchi will be given an opportunity to elect that person who is naturally a leader. We are looking for leaders. We are not looking for bureaucrats. We are not looking for academics. We are looking for leaders who will carry this nation to greater heights. Leaders who are trusted by Mwananchi. Most of our entrepreneurs are not graduates. You can see that the people who are carrying the economy of this country, if such like people and even church leaders are given an opportunity, then we shall say we are living in a better country. Not people who are power hungry, who are only waiting to be elected and take opportunity over their people, who will be regretting day and night why they were elected. That is not what we are looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, let's a situation whereby politicians like their salaries, this is what I'm trying to mean to say. Politicians should be paid according to a certain given salary scale, so that with those people who are greedy to enter into politics because they know they're going to amass money, will find it not very attractive. So people like doctors, teachers, we should have a certain salary scale that is uniform to all. We, the J Network Group, in conjunction with the like-minded groups, will champion the No campaign to make sure this document is shot down for the benefits of all Kenyans and a better one is put in place. We shall therefore go the Vuguvugu way. We mobilize people and we come as a force to say no to BBI. Thank you.
We are not just here like any other group. We are here and, with a mindset. And we've read this document, the BBI, from page 1 to the last. And we want to appeal to all Kenyans that time has come. Let us not hide under the tables, under our, tribal cocoons. Time has come to speak our mind. If it is yes, say yes. If it's no, say no. We are here to demonstrate our democratic rights, and we have to affirm, our position by saying no to this document.
Thank you.
We are saying no because this document has not addressed the key issues that relate to the general Mwananchi, that's Wanjiku. We need to ask ourselves, at what point are we? The country is at crossroads, friends. We need men and women of substance who can come and tell Kenyans, this is the way to go, putting in mind where we are. The country is affected so much with COVID-19. We don't need to be told that, okay, we are invited in places Oh, we go dance, we go. There's no time for that. The country, the leadership of this nation has to come clear with a blueprint on how to address the aftermath issues that affected Kenyans after COVID-19. And we are not saying after. COVID is still on. How is the general Mwananchi going to tackle this? We say, even we have no room for consensus. Legally, where the document is now, there's no room for consensus. Let us tackle the position, the document as it is. We are here to tell Kenyans that we are a solid group. We are going to go out, convince people, sell our ideas, and say no to this document.
My name is Kalistas Wafula. I just want to emphasize what has been read. What the position we are taking today, we are taking a position to oppose BBI report. And we want to welcome those people who are talking about consensus. This is not the right time we can consensus because the process already has taken off. The signature corrections is also on the run. Therefore, there is no way we are going to say that we find a way of consenting or discussing some issues that are in BBI report. Things to do with the shared prosperity, because we have seen politicians using that as an avenue to push this document on the throat of Kenyans. Shared prosperity, when they mean more diversification of money without structure. When you look at MCS boundary, it is not as well designed as the county government structure. And it is only in county government structure where we have at least a structure to control our resources. We have got the CTF, affirmative funds. Those are money being used as PR money. They are not used on the intended purpose. We have lost on the way. We have never had a genuine conversation since independence because people just talk about things, but they talk about this when they mean the opposite. Things to do with the gender. All our women need empowerment. It is not a section of women's, those who are doing politics. All our women need empowerment. That's why we have said it is through education whereby we can achieve competitiveness and be able to support them to compete on the world shops. That is the possible way to empower the common woman. But they are using this thing as if they are talking about women when they mean a section of women. They are also talking about things to do with the increase in a number of constituencies in the name of fair representation. Currently, we have never been represented well since independence. Politicians always just come to us when they need votes. When they have gotten votes, they sit down and organize their things. We had multi-party democracy. The fruits of multi-party, 80% of the fruits of multi-party were for the politicians. We had the second deliberations. Over 80% of the benefits were for the politicians because they talk about things to do with the freedom of expression, things to do with the having a conversation, a national dialogue on issues of governance. That is something that benefits only politicians. Now we have BBI, which propose 90% of the benefits to go to the politicians. We are telling the government that currently you have not even given county the 15% that is required by the Constitution. So where are you going to get money to increase from 15, the minimum 15 to 35? This will mean even those who drafted this report, they didn't know what they are doing, because if it is about allocation of money, if they think allocating money is our problem, then they ought to have deal with the issues of misuse of public funds and the resources. We have seen a scenario whereby people have looted, like the 7 trillion debt. 80% of that money went to the pockets of people. That's why we are seeing buildings in Nairobi, elsewhere in the town, but those buildings does not belong to common people. Na ndio maana tunasema, I want to say it in Kiswahili so that those who want to capture it in Kiswahili can get it, the message well. Tunasema tumechukua msimamo ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunapinga hiyo ripoti ya BBI. Na tunapinga ripoti ya BBI kwa sababu haijashughulikia maslahi ya mwananchi wa kawaida. Wakati huu tunaongelea wakati ambapo wage bill imefika ceiling. Tunaongea wakati tunakopa ndio tulipe ile serikali tuko nayo. Sila hela tunatafuta kwa njia ya revenue collection haiwezi tuwezesha sisi na kulipa serikali yetu recurrent expenditure. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha hata hatuna pesa ya kufanya maendeleo. Lazima kila mwaka serikali ikope kama 1 trillion ndio tuweze kufinance kulipa wafanyakazi wa serikali, kulipa hizo maofisi na kufanya vitu zingine. So wanatuambia reke iendelee. Hiyo reke sisi tunaomba wananchi hiyo ni reke ambayo wanafaa wasimamishe. Secondly, kuna mambo ambayo wanatumia wakisema madiwani wanataka kupatiwa pesa. Madiwani wanapatiwa pesa ili hali tuko na wapunge ambao wanatumia CTF na wanaikula tu. Tukiangalia boundaries za madiwani, vile zimedesigniwa, hizo ndio siko na injustices ya ile hali ya juu kabisa. Tunasema hatuwezi kubali watu wachache watutanganye sisi kama watoto. Tuweke pesa kwa county government, tuhakikishe ya kwamba wakati tutakuwa tuna prosecute cases za corruption, tutakuwa na wakati rahisi ya kushtaki wale ambao wanatumia pesa ya umma. Lakini tukipatia kila mtu pesa, tukiwa na watu kama